Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jenny Lee. Thank you so much for joining us here on KVUE Plus. Now, we are bringing you special coverage of an Austin police press conference addressing a situation where officers shot and killed a person in Northeast Austin early this morning.
As investigators continue their work.
There is Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis right now. Let's listen in.
I cannot imagine the pain and the grief that his family is going through, and I want them to know that I'm thinking about them, and I'm very sorry about this incident. The Austin Police Department and the Office of Police Oversight will investigate this incident thoroughly, objectively, and transparently. We owe that to the family, to our officers, and to every member of the community. Here are the facts as we know them. This incident began this morning at 3:51 a.m. when Austin 911 received a call stating that a male was in the parking lot with a gun. Can I play the 911 call?
EMS or mental health services?
Police.
To what address?
10110 Baden Lane. Baden Lane, B-A-D-E-N Lane.
Is the house part of the duplex?
It's a parking lot.
Okay, all right, what's going on?
I'm looking out my window, there seems to be a kid. It looks like he has a gun, I'm not sure, but he keeps on messing with his waistband. And I seen something in his hands. It looked like a firearm, but I'm not sure.
When you say kid, how old?
I'm not sure. He just looks very young.
So like a teenager?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is he like brandishing it, or does it just happen to have it?
Brandishing it, I'd say, yeah. I'd say brandishing it.
Towards someone, or is he just by himself?
By himself.
The call taker asked if the subject was brandishing the gun, and the caller relayed that the gun was being brandished. Officers arrived on the scene within 2 minutes and began searching for the area for the subject brandishing the firearm. They located an individual on the playground near the community park in the 10100 block of Baden Lane. Officers made contact with the individual and attempted to gain compliance by giving verbal commands to keep his hands up and asking him if he was okay. During that encounter, the individual lifted his shirt and reached for his waistband. We're going to play body-worn camera. We're going to play the original, and then we're going to play a slowed-down version.
Hey, keep your hands up. What's going on, bro? You all right? You doing all right? You doing all right? Hey, keep your hands up. Hey, check your... Hey, watch the truck behind us! I'm reloading. Stop moving! Stop moving! Hey, watch the truck behind us!
video shows an attempt to get up off the ground. Thank you. Once the scene was secure and officers determined that there were no additional threats, they rendered medical aid until EMS arrived. Despite those life-saving efforts, the individual died at the scene. The individual has been identified and was a 17-year-old black male. His name will be released once his family has made all of their notifications. Officers did not locate a firearm at the scene. It was later determined that a water bottle was in his waistband, and the initial 911 call originated from the deceased's own phone. At this time, our preliminary investigation indicates that it was the deceased who placed the call. Officers are often required to make life or death decisions in seconds. This was a rapidly evolving incident. Our commitment now is to examine the facts, the evidence, the officers' actions, and the applicable law. At this point, we are preparing to interview the officers involved, and we are canvassing the area for witnesses and video. Anyone with information is encouraged to call. Take a few questions at this time.
This was a quick turnaround and obviously a lot of work to get this information and this video out quicker than normal. Was part of that an effort to preserve public trust given some of the circumstances in this case? And additionally, what would your message be for people who may still have questions or concerns?
Yeah, it absolutely was. I wanted to ensure that we were not dealing in rumors, that the video was released quickly. And that we can, have this community conversation now, and it was important for me to release that.
Chief, this morning you described this as possible suicide by police. What other information can you share that has kind of informed that?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I think the totality of the situation, the fact that the 911 call was there, he made that call to bring the police there. Again, I've been in law enforcement for over 3 decades. And, I've dealt in this before, and all points are indicating that this was a suicide by police.
Have you ever interacted with this person before? Have you been called to the house before? And how many officers are on this?
There were 3 officers that were involved in this incident, and APD has had no interaction with him.
Chief, you talked a little bit about, how quick of a decision officers have to make. But can you speak a little bit more about the process that officers go through when they handle these types of calls and, the type of danger that they're in?
Yeah, and I've said this before, there's not an officer that comes to work wanting to be involved in a shooting, and certainly not one that involves a 17-year-old child. And as a parent, again, I think about this family and what they're going through. It's absolutely devastating. There's no doubt. But these officers arrived on scene thinking they were dealing with someone that had a gun and a person with a gun in their waistband. So again, very split-second decisions, and this is the effect of that, and it is hard. There's no doubt.
How many shots were fired, and how long after the last shot was fired was medical aid given?
Yeah, so that the as far as the number of rounds, that's that investigation. The medical aid was rendered within 7 minutes. Thank you.
And we've been listening to Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis give us an update about the the deadly officer involved shooting that happened about 3:51 this morning. If you're just joining us, we heard audio leading up to the events of what happened, and we saw body cam footage of what happened. So we now know the deceased person is a 17-year-old black male. His identity has not been released yet, pending his family making notifications. Chief Lisa Davis offered her condolences to all the loved ones. Also told us that a total of 3 officers were involved in this. If you saw, we heard many gunshots, many rounds fired. Here's what she also said. About 3:51 this morning, a 911 call was placed about a man reporting a kid was seen with a gun. That 911 caller turned out to be the deceased himself. So officers arrived within 2 minutes, gave verbal commands to that 17-year-old male, and during that interaction, those shots were fired. They did show a slowed down version of the body cam worn video, apparently of the 17-year-old trying to get back up. Right now, Chief Lisa Davis says all evidence points to a suicide by cop situation. This is what she said several hours ago. She is still standing by that. Again, don't know how many shots were fired. The investigation just starting. They still need to interview those officers. The Office of Police Oversight's looking into it. The department's looking into it. Internal Affairs is looking into it. So several investigations going on at this point. This happened in a playground in Northeast Austin on Baden Lane. They did discover no weapon on that 17-year-old male, just a water bottle in his waistband. So a tragedy all the way around.